Rightio team, you'll recognise that this is not Komodo or your normal text editor. This is, in fact, Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver is a great and extremely powerful program for developing HTML, and oh look, you can see here all other kinds of programming attributes there. So we're going to, for those people who have been working okay and worked out the basics of the HTML, we're going to move a little bit into Dreamweaver just to give you a taste of how how much quicker you can actually achieve some of these items. So I'm going to give you a week 5 Dreamweaver folder, and it's just got a couple of pictures in there and a few facts and pieces. I've already created an Atoms HTML page. In fact, I'm going to delete that. So I've clicked on it, right clicked, and I'm going to, it didn't give me the option there to delete. Why did I think it did that? Let me hit delete and see if I can do that. Yes, no right clicking, you can just hit yes to delete. Okay, so we'll start from scratch. Alright, going to hit create new HTML. Look at that, nothing nicer than a blank page, is there? Now before we were doing anything, we were having to type in the code to put in pictures. Let's have a quick look at the fact that there is code here. Alright, you can see it automatically, when it creates a new HTML page, gives us the head and this metadata. Don't worry about that, that's the language. It's basically saying we're using that kind of English in our heading. So there's all our head information up there, untitled document, untitled document. There's the body, nothing in there. You can even do a split view here, and that shows you what it looks like, and then you've got a purely design view. Now design view is really cool when you're dragging pictures and bits and pieces into there, and that's what I'm going to do first. And what I want you to do is to follow along with what I'm about to do here. I'm going to drag in my home button first, okay, and yep, it just says we're going to make sure that we use the current folder as the path that everything's in. So you go, yep, sure, that's great. There's our home button. Now if you click live view, it looks like that. Okay, so we're in just make sure you turn that live view off. You don't want that view on. It won't let you do as much. Okay, so just keep the live turned off. Just keep design mode on for the moment. The other picture we're going to look at is the atom picture. We're going to create an atom reference page today. And you'll be looking at that going, well, Mr. Ackworth, that looks terrible. If I click live, that's not where I want. I want my home button up the top here. Now, there's some really important ways to do this. Today I'm going to show you the easy cheating way. If you're in a word processor, you would, between two items, hit enter and put one up above the other. Let's have a look at a live view now. There we go, and we have that there. Exactly how I want it. Now, let's go and have a look at the code behind there, and we can see what's going on. We've got our image source. Okay, you can see it's saying it's on my folder. Okay, that's the home button. The home32.png is the name of the file. It's automatically given it the width and the height based on what the image is. All right, because Dreamweaver likes to write in those attributes straight away. And there's for the second one, which is the atom.png file. Okay, there is the atom one. Let's go let's do preview. When I hit preview, it'll ask me to save it. Let's do that, save. Let's bring that back. Okay, and there it is. Alright, don't worry about that for the moment while I'm editing that live. There you go, and as you can see there, I've previewed that and it's got my web page up there. I'm just going to shrink that out of the way. Alright, so you can see how quickly that's put in there just by dragging and dropping, okay, our images across to here. Now, if you go in, have a look at the width and the height settings here, 200 and 228. If I go into design mode, I can actually click on the image and use these handles and drag it out. So it was 200 and 228. Let's drag it out. You can see it's a bit pixelated. If I go code again, you can see it has changed the width and the height. Okay, so which is really cool. But I don't want to resize it. I want it to go back to where it was, and let's leave it for the moment. Okay, so what are we doing with this here? We're going to use this quick document. We're going to put a couple of what we call hotspots or quick links around certain sections, and this is really hard to do with the code while you guys are learning. We're going to focus on the electrons, okay, the protons and the neutrons, and we're going to create a separate page for each one of those with a link back to it. So what I need to do is I'm going to copy this page, okay, save that file, save as, it's in there, facts.html, save that there, yep, update the links, beautiful, okay. So what I'm also going to do though, is I'm going to save this as and call it another page. So I'm going to, well actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a heading first. This is going to be my facts about my electrons. There you go, I've copied and I've given you this information. These are going to be my electrons info, and I've got info at the bottom there. Electrons. Okay, I'm going to save this page as something, so save as, and I might as well call it electron facts. Electron underscore facts. Save that one. Make sure you save in the right folder. Alright, that one. Can update my links. Beautiful. Okay. Then I'm going to create another page with proton facts. Same thing. Save this one as file. Save as proton facts. Okay, and last but not least, what do you reckon I'm going to call the last lot? Okay, just a bit of an email alert coming in there. Alright, neutron facts, neutron info, say that as neutron facts, there you go, and save that. Okay, now we can have some fun. Why isn't my... Refresh, there you go, that's what I wanted. Okay. Oh, now, in case, so what I was getting a bit confused was I couldn't see my HTML pages coming up here, so what I did was I right-clicked on the folder and hit refresh, make sure it tells me what's going on there. So let's go back. You can also see though we've got, that one's on the desktop, this is the right one, let's close this one down. Okay, let's go back to my facts page. Okay, and I need to give some instructions here, and I'll go hover over each part of the atom to find out some more information. Okay, and here we go. Well, alright, that's good, Mr. Ackworth, but we can't do anything here. Okay, so let's have a look at what we're going to do. On our main page here, we are going to create a hotspot over each of these elements. We also have to create a link for this home button to come back to home. So what we can do, and let's start with the home button because the home button is nice and easy. Alright, so you can see we've got our home page is facts. That's where we are now. If I come down here, I've got the source, which is the picture, and this lovely button called link. Alright, now link means exactly that. I'm going to link to the file I want it to come back to. I want it to come back to our facts page, which is the one we're on. This is why this is so cool. We click on this button and we drag it across and we hit the facts page. Alright, and it says, oh, you're linking to the facts page. Alright, now when I click on that link, and let's have a look, the code in the background, it says, hey, you've got an ahref for facts.html, and there's the image buried within it, and then an anchor tag, exactly as we used to do it. okay, when we were manually coding. We've got a reference back to the fax page. Alright, and that is awesome. Okay, so let's go back to the design mode because design mode's easier. Alright, if I click on the live view, you can see I've got a little hover button there. Okay, let's turn the live view off. Alright, let's go back to design. The other thing we can also do is we can add an ID and all the rest of it. We can add some alt text. Let's go home button. Seeing as it's making it so easy for us, let's do all of these great stuff. Okay, so that's the home button. It's going to come back to the home page. We'll need to do that for all the other pages. There are easier ways to do that so that you can copy that across, but I wanted us to practice that one page at a time. Let's now click on our lovely picture of our atom. And when I do that, have a look down here again. We've got a link now. If I click just on link, it will only give me one link, but I've got 3 different pages I want to go to, so I've got to make sure I put 3 different links in. How am I going to do that? Well, I come down to this lovely mapping section here, and I've got a funny drawing polygon, I've got a circle, and I've got a square. Well, most of the things I'm looking at have circles on it, so I'm going to use the circle tool, and what it means is I click on the very outside of it, and I click and I drag across, and I have just created a fantastic hotspot or image map. And now, once again, I come down here to the link, and the link for that hotspot, now you can name that hotspot. Okay, I can call it, well, it's an electron. Okay, map electron, just so I know what I'm talking about. And I click on my link over here, my target, my point to the file. Alright, clicking on that, and it's going to my electron page. And there you go. And now it's going to go to my electron page. Do the same for the others. So let's go with, I'm going to call this one a proton. 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 Alright. And go over to my proton page. And let's, now be careful, if you lay a link over the top of the other link, a hotspot or a map over the top of the others, it will actually not work. And you could do it over, you could draw around each one of these, but I'm not going to. I'm going to draw it very carefully around this one over here. Very carefully. Okay, in fact, that'll do. Someone will have to find it. It's a little bit harder. And that's my neutron. And that's my neutron map. Okay, click on my target, get my lovely warning here. It's really annoying. Click over here onto my neutron page. Okay, alright. So let's have a look at what that looks like live. Okay, I have a electron button. Okay, I've got one here in the center for my proton and one over here for my neutron. You'll notice that one doesn't have one. You could put in another one and link them across to each of those. Let's have a look. If I click on my electron, okay, it's just live. It's not actually going to run through. Let's save this now. Let's turn off live. Oh, quick look at the code. Look at all that code that's been written there. Okay, you can see the shape and the circle coordinates. Now we could type those coordinates in manually, not a problem at all. Okay, but it was easier using Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver saved us a lot of time. So let's save that. I'll save. Let's go to a preview in Mozilla. Okay, and have a look at that. Alright, click on that one and it takes us to my electron page. Now you can see here though we've got a drama, I can't go home, alright, and I can't click on anything else. So that's where we want to go back to our Dreamweaver page now and just go, okay, we've got on every single page, and let's open up our, we can double click on Proton Fax, okay, and we click on the home button, okay, use the link, make sure you're actually on it. Oop, there you go. And we're going to link it back to our fax page. Alright, and that's done, and you can close it down. That's all we had to do. Now you could put in a link to a proton here, and back to the proton, an electron here, an electron here to an electron, and a neutron here to a neutron page. You're most welcome to do that to have a look at what you're producing. Okay, but I'm not going to for the moment, just for time's sake. You can certainly have a go at doing that. Let's come back to our, so what did I do there? That was the proton, that was the electron. Was it? Let's have a look. Live. No, okay, so I'm on live on the electron page. I'm going to click on my home button. Alright, back to the fax home. You could call it home if that made it easier. Close that one down, save, yes. Let's go neutron. I'll do that one, let's have a look. Hit on live just to check it. No, I haven't. Come back to my home icon, use the pointer tool, drag it to the very first page, which is the fax page. Save that off. It might seem like a lot of work, but I'll tell you what, it's still a lot quicker. So I must have done I'm now forgetting which one I've done. Have I got a fax link in there? I do. Let's go live. Works beautiful. Okay, so let's go to our fax page and let's do a preview in Mozilla, and let's have some fun. Here we go. So home takes me home. Electrons, beautiful. Let's go home again. Protons, tells me all about it down there. Home again, and neutrons, fantastic, works beautifully, and home again, fantastic. So I've created in just a couple of minutes, in fact it's been 18 with me talking, making mistakes, 18 minutes we've created 4 web pages, a fax page, which is our starting or our home page, and 3 others, an electron, a proton, and a neutron page, all linking back to the home page. Give that one a go. Alright, give that one a go and see how you go using Dreamweaver.